far side armbar. Everybody's like, this is so cool, and I'm showing my friends. Now, a lot of times whenever you chase that armbar, I was on top, I had elevation, and I gave that up chasing that far arm. And I can make it work and I can be tight, but it's like, man, I would really rather not take my center and come off of my partner. Now I've got some other options, you know, like whenever I get this arm controlled and I stop here and I chase this Kimura, transition back down to an arm triangle, you know. So it's like I can take one step back where it's like, I'm not gonna go all the way for the armbar. But what we're gonna look at are some shorter options, because like you guys are starting to run into it, especially color belts, where everybody kind of starts seeing your tricks. You know, you're like, oh man, I'm going for triangle, and they defend. I'm going for armbar, and they defend. So what we're gonna look at is whenever I'm looking for this far arm, the rule of thumb is I approach going around the top of the head, because I want to stay away from the legs, the hips, and the bridge. So the first arm lock we're going to do is just going to be kind of a lower level. So this is like a go-to whenever I'm in knee mount that can be a little bit easier. So when I've got pressure here, I'm going to underhook this arm the same, but I'm going to flare this elbow, and I'm going to get it pinned on my neck. And then this knee just comes right in here, so I get to hang out on top with straight arm lock pressure. Now, as far as this grip, my preference is my elbow being bent here, and I hug and I put my hand on his elbow. So that way I can control the roll of this arm a little bit as I've got pressure. And I'm on my toes, I got live toes, and I got knee pressure, and of course I'm pushing on the neck here. But all I'm doing is just a straight arm bar, okay? So this transition is when I've got good knee mount control and I come under, I hook this elbow, but the detail is I gotta flare my elbow up to make this happen. Now, if his arm's in tight, say he's not pushing the hips, I just still trap that arm. And I squeeze, I'm pulling here on the tricep, I can come under, or I can sneak in, like I was saying, to control this elbow. It kind of depends on their length, their size, and what you get. But I do like this pressure. You can transition here. You know, I'm a fan of this as well, but this is just a little bit tighter. So I got this control. And all I'm gonna do is just straight arm lock. Now, where you'll get sideways with this is people will try to pull in. See how I'm swaying, what my hips are doing? Pulling in. I don't wanna pull in. I wanna push my hips in and lean my shoulder forward so I can keep my balance. Because you gotta remember, he can still shrimp and he can still bridge, and I'm gonna use that movement to react for some other options. But I don't want to give up my base. The whole reason I'm chasing this arm lock is because I want to keep my base and I don't have to come off of his center. So that way, even if it's failed, I can step right back down into the side mount, okay? So I'm here, control, come underneath, flare for this pressure. This knee comes right in to find the neck. And I got a pin here, and I'm pushing my hips forward. Sorry. I'm pushing my hips forward, and my shoulder rolls forward. So I'm not trying to use my arms to pull in because that leans me this way. And this is back. Okay? Do we understand?
Yes, sir.